The ER doctor told me that my lungs were the worst COVID lungs they had seen so far.
Tommy Shepard is a father of three, choir director, and music teacher at FSCJ. A year ago, the 45-year-old contracted COVID-19 along with 25 members of his church.
I drove myself down to the hospital on that night, on a Wednesday night. I could barely walk from the car into the ER. And by the time I got in there and they admitted me, I was put into one room, given oxygen, then taken into a resuscitation room and given a heavier dose of oxygen.
Shepard was turned away from the ER on March 20th, 2020 because he didn't have a fever. His allergy symptoms turned into pneumonia, and just 5 days later, he returned to the ER, fighting for his life as doctors prepared to put him on a ventilator.
I ended up making videos. I got my phone out and just started making about 1 minute to 2 minute long videos. Of course, first I sent one to Rachel, my wife, and for the kids. The coronavirus got a hold of me pretty strongly.
Shepard recalling the moment he thought these videos would be the last time talking to his family and friends.
It was a very surreal moment to be told that you're going to be put on a ventilator, knowing even at that time about 4 out of 5 on the ventilator didn't survive. So knowing those numbers and the looks that were coming at me from all the personnel coming in, I was scared.
He spent 1 day in ICU and 6 more days in the hospital recovering before returning home. During his 12 days battling COVID, he lost 30 pounds and continued to have lingering symptoms of the virus for 10 more months, with them finally subsiding this January. Now, a year later, he is determined to complete this year's Gate River Run.
I went and Googled River Run and found out the date was on March 20th, which is the date that the first time I went to the ER that they denied admittance for me to get into the hospital. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to run this. I need to run on that date. I don't care what kind of shape I'm in. I'm gonna run it, I'm gonna walk it, I'll crawl to the finish line, but I need to do it on that day.
And how important is it for you to make it to that finish line?
It's important. It's just a symbol that it's gonna mean a lot for me personally. To know I could barely breathe on that day. And I'll probably barely be able to breathe on this 20th too, but it'll be for different reasons. And it will be a good exhaustion. And it's a symbol that I have come far, and that we have all come very far from a year ago. And we have a lot to be thankful for.
Grateful to finish the Gate River Run and cross the finish line he didn't think he would see a year ago.